Designing your probate campaign. So this is planning your work and working your plan. If you've already gotten your probate strategy in place, then it's time to, this is the kind of the how of that. If you haven't, go back to the last video, developing your probate strategy, and work on that first. One of the probably the most important thing that you're in your campaign will be direct mail. You have almost 100% chance of reaching these folks because the data we gather is going to have, accurate and current information for the personal representative. So the best way to get your message across is going to be through direct mail. Now we are going to talk about other ways, but this is the most important. So to get your direct mail campaign in place, we're going to start by downloading and customizing the letters. Now, you can find these in the subscriber area if you log into alltheleads.com, and you'll see samples of only letters that have worked for us and other people across the country. I encourage you to change the letters around, make it fit your your business culture and your personality. Don't be afraid to play with the introductory paragraph or the closing. The options that are available in there. If you're not comfortable because you don't have cash buyers, that's not a good reason to take it out, because that's something that a lot of people are going to respond to. So you want to, rather than taking out things you're not comfortable with, educate yourself and learn those things. But anyways, get familiar with those letters and understand, what's available and decide how you're going to use those. Once you have a good understanding of the letters, you're going to determine what your sequence is. At a minimum, we recommend 3 direct mail pieces, and most people are going to space those out over 30 days. So you can order 3 pieces of mail. It will last for a quarter of marketing. And then lastly, once you know which letters you're using and how many you're sending, you need to decide if you're going to do this in-house or if you're going to hire it to outsource it. I strongly discourage you from doing it in-house. I started out that way, and I made it to about the 90-day mark, and it became almost unmanageable. So you have 3 letters for each list, and then once you get to your 3rd list, at that point you'll have 9 letters going out at different times to different lists, and it just becomes overwhelming. And the amount of time that you put into it, I'd say on average, a typical subscriber, one of our clients is going to have it at least 60 leads per month. So the time it takes you to hand address, stamp, stuff, seal, and deliver, 60 letters each month. At month 3, it would be 180 letters. So, that's a full day of work. So for most people, this just doesn't make sense. You can go to alltheleads.com and look under the menu item, the system. And in there, you'll see a direct mail order form where you can order mail directly through our company. There's other places you can outsource it, but we probably have the best quality control and pricing in the marketplace. So whatever you decide to do with your direct mail, try to design your campaign in such a way that no more than 1 day a month are you dealing with that. Either if you're doing it in-house, do it all at once and bundle the letters and have them sitting there for the drop dates. But I highly recommend you outsource this because it's definitely not the best use of most agents' time. Telemarketing, your live calls are always going to be the best. So if you're a good prospector and you have time and energy to make these calls, that's definitely going to be your best bet. One thing I will say, just like with FSBOs or expireds, and depending on which system you may have used in the past, not 100% of these numbers are going to be correct. So if you are going to do live prospecting, don't get discouraged. It's, a common occurrence is, let's say Mary Jones is the personal representative. Well, there could be 500 Mary Joneses in the United States, so there's a chance that we'll pull a number for the wrong Mary Jones. So don't get discouraged. If you are going to prospect, just make sure you're setting your expectations right. Now, we typically are going to have anywhere from 3 to 5 phone numbers for each personal representative. So most of the time, at least one of those numbers is correct. But if you're doing live calls, that's one thing I've seen that has discouraged people. Don't let that happen. Just, keep dialing. If you don't have the time or you don't like prospecting, you can use ringless voicemails. And there's a couple of companies. If you look in the subscriber resources area, we will have recommendations for companies that you can use. If you are planning on doing the probate mastery training, we go through the pros and cons of each of those systems in great detail. But essentially, a ringless voicemail is an automated call that will bypass the ring, and it will show up as a missed call and a voice message. And there are also services that will just broadcast a recording, and if it hits a voicemail, it becomes a voicemail. But if it hits a live answer, it plays a recording. We've had a lot of people have success with those. Personally, I prefer the ringless voicemails. If you look on the Facebook group or in the subscriber area, you'll be able to find personal reviews from people who are using these systems in Facebook, and then I've created kind of a table that compares those in some of our resources. What we try to do is time the calls to coincide with the letter delivery. So, if the letter is planned, if you think your letter will hit on Tuesday, then a good time to make calls would be Wednesday or Thursday. And the reason for that is it warms up your call, so it's not just a cold prospecting call. Hopefully they've gotten the letter, they've had a chance to understand why you sent the letter and what value you can provide. Maybe it wasn't enough to spur them into action, but a phone call could be. So when you call, especially if you're leaving a message, try to be generic and try not to get too detailed. And there are voicemail scripts in the resources area. Some people have shared their own successful voicemail scripts on Facebook, but try to keep it generic and say something like, "Hi, this is Chad. I sent you a letter last week. Just wanted to follow up and make sure you received that and you understood why we sent it. A lot of ways we can help people who inherit properties. If there's any way we can help, please give us a call back, 540 da 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 da." But keep it really generic. You may even, depending on what market you're in, and the culture of that market, how aggressive people are, you may even want to take out the fact that that there's inherited property, and just say, just giving you a call about the letter I sent. If they haven't seen the letter, they're going to go look for it now because they got a voicemail. And that's an opportunity for them to find that letter, pay more attention to it this time, and then call you back. And typically the result is people that are already in the come list me phase because they know exactly what value you provide. Attorney marketing is a really good way to double your surface area. Now, not every county in the United States is going to offer attorney information as part of the public record. For instance, here in Virginia, in my market, I've never gotten an attorney. We never get attorney info. Here, the personal representative works directly with the probate clerk, so there aren't any attorneys appointed. But the vast majority of folks are going to get attorney information. There's a few different ways you can reach out to them. Direct mail being one. So we have letters in the subscriber resources, also in Facebook. There's letters that you can kind of use to customize your own letter and do the direct mail campaign exactly like you would for the personal representative. You can customize the letter, upload it through alltheleads.com, and order it directly through us, and you can run those campaigns at the exact same time. So look for those letters and try to think about am I going to market to attorneys first, or am I going to wait a couple months? But it's a really good touch. If it fits into your budget, I would say start immediately. Office visits. We've had some folks that have really stepped out of their comfort zone and walked right into the attorney's office and said, I'd like to see Mr. Attorney regarding the estate of Mr. Smith. And had that conversation, and they've been very direct and said, listen, here's what I do for people. Here's why I reach out to personal representatives, and I was just hoping that I could take you to lunch. And one really great story that one of our members told, he got all the listing referrals from a 20-year relationship, and it was because he took the initiative to go visit attorneys in the office and provide, show them what value he could provide to their probate clients, and he got that business. The other way is with a phone call. Now you're going to hit gatekeepers if you're trying to reach attorneys. You're almost always going to hit an assistant and a lot of times they will push you to voicemail because time is money. So my recommendation with the phone call, if you're going to call attorneys, is reference either the docket number or the personal representative's name or the deceased first and last name. So, hi, this is Chad. I'm calling regarding the estate of Thelma Smith. Or, hi, this is Chad. I'm calling and about the estate of Thelma Smith. I'm working with personal representative. But find a way to personalize that call so the assistant will push you through to the attorney because it's formal business. Just a way to get through gatekeepers. The next part of your campaign should be focused on referrals. So one thing that I encourage everybody to do is, once you feel comfortable with this and you've kind of got your strategy and in place and you feel good about that, let everybody know that. So, you've taken the time to build a strategy and build a team of people around you to specifically help people who inherit properties. And the best place, to get referrals is your own sphere of influence. So whether that's through email or mail or phone calls, however that is, just let everyone in the community know what it is you do and why you do it. And this will also get you real clear on your why. I mean, it's if you have the confidence to go out into your sphere of influence and say, I'm doing this for the right reasons. This is why, this is what I do to help people. Then, that's powerful. Estate sale companies. So one of the people we suggest to have on your probate team are estate sale companies. And that's a two-way street. So as you give them referrals and they help families that you're working with, they can do the same. So if a family comes to the estate sale company first before they've spoken to a real estate agent, you can often generate a referral from that. Financial advisors, these are people who work with families and do late stage of life planning. And the more of those people the more referrals or endorsements they can give you to their clients. Another idea is assisted living program coordinators. So the people who do, the intake at nursing homes. If the family has built a relationship with that person and mom or dad is going into assisted living and they say, well, do you guys, gosh, is there anything else we can help with? Well, we've got to sell the house. Well, this person can make a direct referral right there and say, well, you know what? There's a realtor in the community that specializes specifically in helping people in your situation. And I understand that, the death has not happened, but it's still the same skill set, the same key members that need to be put into play to sell a home like that. So just another creative idea to get some referral business. So just some action items to sum up designing your probate campaign. What you want to do after you've kind of established all these things is get that into your campaign outline, and whether that's the template that we provide or the bar napkin that you've started, write down your plan so you'll follow it. So we're going to do this with the mail. We're going to do phone calls this way. We're going to handle referrals this way. And if you write it down, you're far more likely to actually follow through on that plan and not let things fall through the cracks. Once you've written that down, I encourage people to make an organizational chart and put somebody's name in the box that is responsible for mail. Who's responsible for mail? Who's making the phone calls? Who's responsible for getting the sphere of influence marketing done? Things like that. And guys, don't let this overwhelm you. It's a quote that you see on the screen here. The best first thing you can do is anything. If you just want to shoot from the hip for the first month or two, just get something out the door. Just take action. It does work. The more strategic you are about this and the more you treat it like a business, the better results you're going to have. But don't get analysis paralysis. Don't take this, too seriously. This is just kind of best practices what we've found. So the best first thing you can do is anything. Go do it.